Tetherfoot takes over the internet. Jerome Powell promises a 2-year struggle snuggle for Bitcoin and all other cryptos. Meanwhile, the world's largest hedge fund moves into the back door of Bitcoin ownership. Welcome to the blockchain basement.
Bum, 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 bum. You ready for this? I'm ready. Welcome.
If you're gonna screw me, at least pull my hair.
Hell yeah. What you got?
They could start chopping off fingers. They're like, give me your seed phrase, but I don't know it.
Out to give the numbers out. And I was like, no, hang up the phone right now.
Or like when it dropped in 2020, was it like exciting?
400,000 to 600,000. The generational signals are now.
Level. So I don't even know if we're gonna get back below there, but if we do, that's kind of where we
Welcome. Hello. We have the illustrious Taco. Let's see if we can get a closer look at this.
Oh, you want a closer?
Yeah, let me see. Oh no, the camera doesn't work for that. Oh wait.
Girls.
Just a little bit. I get you barely. Almost. Oh. Hello, BJ. Welcome. Welcome in. We have an illustrious crew today. It's been a busy day. It's been a fast-moving day. We had Wendy in the studio, giving some live TA, little sassiness. God, they are so sassy together. You know, unbelievable. But how you guys doing? What do you got planned? What are you doing, Hannah? We're live.
We're live. Yeah, we got right into it.
We hopped right into it.
Taco on the casting couch.
Yes. Yes, it's clearly on. Well, Hannah, what's the deal? You were talking NFTs.
It wasn't me. I wasn't the heavy breather, guys. It was TJ.
Oh my God,
It was
yesterday.
TJ.
Okay, from this point on, if you guys are in here and you ever watch Hit Network Gaming, if you ever watch Joel, I'm going to be streaming on that channel on Wednesdays. I was streaming yesterday playing like scary games. They had me working in like a funeral home, embalming bodies.
You were screaming next door the entire show.
So scary. scary. But Taco walked in at one point. I just had to say this while he is like live and we're both on here. He walked in at one point and he scared me and he recorded it and put it on his Instagram. And I was like so mean. I just turned. I was like, stop. Like my reaction was just sassy and mean. So I'm sorry, Taco.
Wait, guys, how do you feel?
She was too into the game. Like she was trying to round a corner, poking the flashlight, making sure, and then I go. Ah!
They look pretty realistic
like,
nowadays. There's a lot of realism to those games. I can understand that. Honestly, everyone else was scared for different reasons. Bitcoin definitely had a little bit of a spicy experience yesterday. Let's check this out because, you know, it was a pretty big crash. I know a lot of people are kind of numb to it. I'll get myself out of the way here. But let's see what we got here. So that's the all-time. This is the 1 year. And now this 1 year is definitely like the part of the graphing for Bitcoin right now that makes me kind of curious if we're going to be able to hold this. This line's right at, or this top's right at 24,800. And that is basically where we are at right now. We're at 24,995. And I did majority of my crypto buys here. And then I did get rid of altcoins and move back into Bitcoin and Ethereum right at about here on this failed new lower high. So basically insulated myself and I'm waiting to see where we level out. I'm studying all these different altcoin projects. There's so much going on though right now. You know, there's a lot of narratives. We saw meme coins come. I feel like BAM was the end of it. Like we saw Pepe come in, just kill it, you know, and then BAM did really good. I might be going over another coin that might be super degenerate at the end of the show, but I, you know, basically want to see where we level off on this Bitcoin graph because it is looking definitely spicy. And I don't know. I mean, this last day, it was full of tons of FUD. And with that, we saw Tether have a little bit of an issue there. Now, I want to say a little bit of an issue because it didn't depeg lower than it was like 99 cents, 99.6, I think. And one account of it came to 99.3. But this is a really good explanation of kind of specifically what happened with the USD pegging. By a thread of Look On Chain at Look On Chain about 12 hours ago. Whale OX3356 created a new address to deposit 52.5 million in USDC and borrowed 40 million in USDT on Aave and Compound. Then they just started to deposit $40 million with the USDT into Coinbase and Kraken about 6 hours ago. So here's the screenshots of those transactions. USDT started depegging after Whale OX3356 deposited the USDT into the exchange, and Whale withdrew 25 million USDC from Coinbase 4 hours after depositing that USDT. So and then about 5 hours ago, so just 1 hour later, two Whales sold a total of 99.6 million in USDT at a similar time. And after the USDT depegged, CZ Samsung shorted USDT on Aave version V2 4 hours ago, so an hour later. And then basically another Whale started to borrow USDC from Aave and Compound to buy USDT for arbitrage, and CZ Samsung shorted the USDT. USDT started to back up to its peg. It did. I wonder where it's sitting at right now, because it did look like it was on its way. I mean, but every time I hear a lot of Tether FUD, you know, and we've seen it basically, you know, never really kind of turn in anything. You know, there's been a lot of inquiries on their backing, things like that. Southern District of New York looking into them often. So, I mean, like Tether's always had this FUD. Like Taco, did you get scared when you saw this thing come about in the news headlines? Like, what was your initial reaction to it?
So as I usually do, I wake up and look at Twitter. And I see people like everyone's posting about Tether. So I go to CoinMarketCap. I looked at what happened. I mean, it barely depegged, guys. Like it didn't even go down a penny. It went down fractions of a penny.
Yeah.
So my question is, actually, it's not really a question. I'm just curious. On that Twitter thread you just posted, the guy sold 9.6 million of USDT.
Yeah.
I wonder what his slippage was on that. Like, Did he get all $9.6 million worth when he swapped or sold it?
Well, let's see here. So let's go back to this. I'll pull up myself.
But regardless, I mean, it's decentralized finance, and when you make big moves like this, it could fluctuate a stable coin price.
Yeah.
But I mean, unless like you have a coordinated attack of a bunch of, I don't know, industry leaders dumping it, that's how you can get a depeg.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what it says. But due to multiple FUDs and, all the fears, circulating immediately when it happened, the whales, started to dump, and it did further depeg. Now, where it sits right now is really, it looks like it's recovering pretty well. I'll move myself out of the way, or us. So this is where it sits right now, 0.9999. So pretty close to its full $1 back in level there. But, I just never really kind of worry about this. We saw the scary one, I feel like, was the USDC. Remember when USDC went down to
80?
It was crazy.
80 cents?
That was a bad look. That was pretty concerning. And that was over the bank. I think it was,
over the weekend they had to change banks.
Yes, the bank went under, and they had like 7% of the USDC or something like that. So it pretty much accounted for most of USDC's downturn, but definitely an interesting thing to watch. And really, I was kind of surprised by the Bitcoin price actually suffering from a pause on rate hikes. You know what I mean? That was kind of counter to the narrative you were hearing quite often, is once you hear that they're not going to pause, they're going to pause and stop raising. It was kind of a mixed bag on the messaging, though. Essentially what happened is Jerome Powell has given the heads up that there will be more rate hikes in the future, and that there'll be no rate cuts for quite a while. I think he pointed to 2 years. So that has investors, or kind of larger hedge funds, allegedly worried. But then you have BlackRock, released, and we got some info on BlackRock that just broke. I'll show. Did you know that while the SEC is busy suing Binance, look at that butt. Look at that butt. Can we get it?
Booty.
While the SEC is suing Binance and Coinbase, BlackRock and the biggest banks in the U.S. silently bought a record amount of Bitcoin. These banks buying Bitcoin in Q1 of 2023 include. Wow, that was clicky. We should have that on mic. That's very clicky. No, it's too late. It's already passed. Oh, here. Yeah.
I'm just going to do this.
He's getting the power. He's taking over. But yeah, I mean, basically, these banks buying Bitcoin in early 2023 include BlackRock, Bank of America, and Fidelity, 3 of the top 6 banks in the country. Let's look a little bit more at what happened. So looking at the largest holders of MicroStrategy stock, we can see some big banks have been buying huge amounts of MicroStrategy stock in Q1 of 2023. Same MicroStrategy, that's the largest institutional holder of Bitcoin, owning 140,000 Bitcoin. The US, I think, is down to 200 after that recent sell-off. So MicroStrategy at 140,000 Bitcoin is a definite large player in the game, worth over $3 billion. Makes you wonder. So these are the top investors for MicroStrategy right here. We have Capital Research and Management, the Vanguard Group, BlackRock Fund Advisors, BOFA, Securities Bank of America, and you have a couple lesser knowns here, but Morgan Stanley, pretty obvious, and Fidelity Management and Research Group. So
didn't the U.S. just buy a bunch today? I've heard. I don't know how factual that is.
I didn't see any information on that. Where did you see that from?
I have nothing to back it.
Yeah,
No, I didn't make it up. I just saw a lot of people being like, while everything's going on, you guys are missing that they're secretly buying a bunch of crypto right now.
Yeah.
Through MicroStrategy.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is pointing to. And that's its exposure to Bitcoin through stock ownership of MicroStrategy, which holds 140,000 Bitcoin. Michael Saylor, very famous. A little... I think Michael Saylor kind of went ham when he was saying that we're going to hit a 50 or an 80% Bitcoin dominance level recently, though. I don't see that coming, but I wouldn't count out that we hit, 55, maybe even 60 if things get real bad, which is just fine for me. I feel good about having time to actually accumulate while everything's all scared. And, because you have to be pretty in tune to be noticing purchases like this. on the underscope, while the basic crypto media or crypto Twitter is super bearish on Tether depegging or rate hikes continuing to kind of stifle the market as far as its money flow. Then you have things like this happening in the background, and it feels very similar to the last bull market and kind of the time frame after the COVID crash up into the end of 2020. It felt very deceptive. I saw extra deception in the media as far as all these bad news
that Matt
articles.
Damon movie?
What, Matt Damon?
Oh no, that was Inception, right?
Inception?
Yeah, never mind.
That was kind of an interesting. I need to rewatch that movie though. I haven't.
I want them to make a sequel.
Yeah.
You can't.
Oh my
the
God.
sequels within the sequel.
Hold on, I'm getting totally sidetracked.
Yeah. Anyway,
But one of my never mind. I'll go into that later. But basically, this is the large fund banks moving into Bitcoin in the dark while everyone is running scared for the hills. You have all these people worried about Tether and things like that, and it just feels very similar to kind of the mind game that I feel the media does play with people. For the time being, I think that, we're just fine for the time being. As far as when I feel like really going into altcoins, I'm going to wait for like that 35K breach. We already touched 21 and got slapped back down from it. We're holding on to 25 right now, but it wouldn't surprise me if we do get a touch back in the lower 20s. It's holding on by an edge right now, and there's not a lot of liquidity. So these moves make a big difference. And, another thing that I wanted to...
Hey, real quick before we move on, do you have the Discord on that computer?
I put it in the description.
No, I just wanted to see if you could bring up the Altcoin Arcade. I put a chart in there on Bitcoin earlier this morning.
The Altcoin Arcade?
The
Yeah.
Discord.
And I also added the Druth channel and the Dictatorship channel.
Let's go.
It's getting weird in that
With
Druth
all
channel.
your
I'll tell you.
prepper needs, you head to the Druth. If you want to fight the power, go to the Dictatorship.
Yeah.
Hey, real
Weird
quick,
channel
Taco.
about weird biotech stuff.
Hey, I can have VJ's Corner.
Also, the kid coming. Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of ADA, and then run NES Pool if you're looking for a great place to delegate your ADA that is not centralized with Binance or Coinbase or somebody else.
Yeah.
Also, the pool for here is B Pool.
I
So
forgot to
either
call
way-
everyone out in the chat too.
Wait.
Just reminded me.
Real quick, Taco, while we're on the Discord. Okay. Cryptonautic said, what chat do we use to show up on the live stream? It's the OG chat,
The OG
right?
chat, which is there. And then also
And
this
wait.
is streaming in Discord as well. If anybody wants to
So
watch
you
that.
can watch this in
You gotta work
Discord.
it.
You got to work it.
All right.
I made it work, okay?
Okay.
Do they just join OG chat and they'll show up, or do they have
So
to?
higher up will be OG stream, correct?
So, what
Yeah.
was the question? How do you
Yes.
get into the OG chat?
How does Manawak get his name green and the little thing next to it? Is that the
so
member?
he has a subscription to the YouTube membership, which grants you access to these private channels in the.
Okay, so if you subscribe on YouTube, then you get all of the special
You get
chats
the
and
role
just-
in our Discord, which grants you access. And if you boost our Discord, I also granted you access to these channels. as well.
Damn.
Boost the Discord, join the
Addressing
membership.
people. Look at this.
Let's
Let's
go.
go to
Also,
the.
the Dega ISPO. No, I'm currently not doing any ISPOs.
This is the. Are you talking about your recent Bitcoin post, Taco?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Damn, look at that.
All
So,
right.
I mean, this is just like super basic TA. You just take the line tool and you draw a line. There you go. There's your TA. No, I'm kidding. But this is on, I think, the daily chart.
Mm-hmm.
So all the way back, I don't have the date on there, but
Can we
I
get
mean,
it
it's
out
a trend line
No.
that's been going for,
Oh, that finally works again.
I think, a month or two. This trend line has been active. And I mean, it hit right off of the bottom of the support line. So the daily, you see right there, there's a 13 on top of the candle versus, I think it's a -5.
Yeah.
So that's the dual band strength index. The top
I'm
number
listening.
is considered the bear number. The bottom is considered the bull number. The highest these values can go is 28. So around 13, 14 is obviously halfway. That means it's relatively strong. And since it's on top, that means that on the daily, the bears are stronger than the bulls. But when you go over to the 4 hour, it's actually it flops. So you might see a little bounce on the 4 hour, but I would keep an eye on this support because
Yeah.
it's been going for quite a while.
Okay, that's pretty cool. You got all kinds of stuff going on here. I should check this out more often.
That was the Algorand
you
I
bought
did.
some,
How'd
and
that
that
purchase go?
Well, if you see what I said, I'm like,
kidding.
you're either going to do great or
Yeah.
it's going to be dead.
That's why this is the altcoin arcade. This is where you know the chaos lives. But
What
I
about
was
that
kind of
snack? I got a comment that somebody ripped on me the other day, just being like, I've been in crypto for 6 years, and like,
I'm curious
this
what
is
snack
definitely getting rug pulled. It's some dude named Gab or whatever, and he's like, post the chart again, moron, and just being like effing pussy and all this stuff. And I was like, I wanted to post it again now that it's like,
I mean,
ripping
really?
It's
it.
up
I'm like,
150%.
Look at this. Pull up
Whatever.
this chart. I have a
Yeah.
snake chart here.
It's
I
so
mean,
funny.
It's
So,
trying to resurge.
on
This is the
that,
1
that
year.
dump right there, they're like, see, it's a rug pull. It's never coming back. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, boomer.
But that's the thing about crypto is when you get those like heavy bags from super cheap coins that have good communities.
People are gonna also sell.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, it just went up 6,000% in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And
If it didn't pull back, I'd be actually worried.
And I'm actually like not like super surprised, but pretty surprised with everything else crashing.
I know. That's
This,
what I was gonna
this
say.
project is still chugging along.
Well, it's
That's
because they have an
interesting.
energy drink. I wonder.
What?
Yeah. Put a 1 in chat if you think they're actually going to come out with the energy drink.
Is that what they're
Apparently,
saying?
yeah,
What?
it's like citrus.
Look at this
Something.
one.
Yeah.
Jesus coin.
This
Since
is
you joined us,
dang.
Biscuit Jesus. Look at this
Is that,
Jesus coin.
That's not mine.
Is that
Jesus?
Obama Sonic 10 Inu?
My God, is that a coin?
No, I swear. Go to like Dex Tools, type in Jesus or type in Bitcoin.
Are we showing them the true degeneracy of Dex tools?
Yeah. I
And
mean,
then
it wasn't
I want to show
working.
you guys Tap Tools also.
Well, that's what I was going to say for Cardano. Tap tools is fantastic.
Tap tools too.
Yeah, type in Bitcoin on top.
Bitcoin?
Bitcoin.
Shouldn't just Bitcoin show
Hey,
up?
wait. Harry Potter, Obama,
Oh my
Sonic
gosh.
10 in you.
That's the first result for Bitcoin.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and
This
then
is
go
very
to like
degenerate.
the 4-hour chart. It's
All right.
not bad, which is like saying a
What
lot.
is this? This is literally a potential recommendation. Is this financial
No, I'm
advice?
not recommending buying this. I just think it's hilarious. And
Okay.
like it's not doing terrible.
It's really not. Oh, geez.
Terribly, it's an adverb.
It's not doing too bad here. I was interested in that Jesus coin because I don't know. I thought meme season was really gone, but apparently there's still some plays out there. You know, I don't. What was that called again? Shiba Inu? What? Harry Potter?
That was
That is pure chaos.
Harry Potter, Obama,
Harry Palmer?
Sonic 10 in
Okay.
you.
That is
10?
pu-
Yeah, it cuts it off, but that's the name of it.
Okay. Well, that's super degeneracy, but I mean there might be something there. I mean, I was looking at
And then
Where
tap
is this?
tools while we're at it, or no?
tap tools.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So
Let's
this is
check
one
them out.
for Cardano, which is super nice because not that Dex Tools does not allow you to follow wallets. It very much so does.
Mm.
This just does it in kind of a sexier visual way. So yeah,
Snack.
click on snack. And then on the side there, scroll down a wee bit more.
Mm.
Bull versus the
keep
bear.
going. So wallet profile, let's do that $11,000 sell. Go down. You got to pop off for a second.
Oh, sad.
Yeah.
Pop
And then-
house.
Yep.
Go
Okay.
down to like the second fish.
So yeah, if it keeps happening, don't keep doing it that way.
No, I'm fine. You know,
But click on one of the fishes or something like that.
a fish.
Yeah. So click on that, and then it will show you where their buys, where their sells are. Typically, this is a lot faster. I promise I perform better than this.
Huh.
Right there, so you can see everything that wallet has been doing
Okay.
in a nice graphical.
I like how it
beautiful
designates
interface.
what type of fish they are. You know what
well,
I mean?
at the top, the thing you kept hovering over and over again will show
like
you that.
Well, it's sad.
your legend.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Maybe there'll be some plays. I mean, I'm planning on deploying probably 10% of my overall bag back into altcoins. Maybe I should do maybe 20% though,
I
because
have
it's
one more thing to add on
What's that?
Tap Tools.
No.
If you connected your wallet before the 10th, you are whitelisted
The
for
10th
their,
of June?
last month.
Mm.
Or no, wait. This month.
So the 10th of June?
5 months ago. Yes. 5 days
5
ago.
days
5
ago.
days ago. If you connected your wallet to Tap Tools, you'll be able to be whitelisted for their mint coming out, I think, in 2 days.
So
Mm.
2 or 4 days, but I think it's 2.
7, 12, 19.
14 teen.
Jesus.
Look, Taco's just beautiful. You can't count.
Yeah. I'm
At
trying
least
to
you're
find
pretty.
this.
Yeah.
Looking
Words are
for
hard,
this. Here it
numbers
is.
are more harder.
Yes. Benjamin Cowan came out. Oh my God. We just killed TJ.
I'm sorry, TJ. I'm sorry, TJ. I was trying to make him agree. Taco's pretty.
Yeah, very sad.
Okay.
Well, Ben Cowan came out with this tweet and kind of on like thinking about the timing of when to deploy back into altcoins. He brought up this really good tweet from March 16th. This is the prices for Bitcoin and altcoins not too terribly long ago, a few months back. Now most, not all, are much lower today than they were back then. During the pre-halving years, alts get wrecked. It's a quick reminder on that. And Bitcoin dominance, he says, is going to 60%. I said it's only a potential, not a guarantee at all.
What's it currently at?
It's at like 49.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at 49. So let's just look at this. So Bitcoin was right at about where it's at right now, $25,000. Ethereum 16, right around where it's at right now. Here's the differences. So this
Tether
is
is up.
Yeah, this is when. Yeah,
Oh God.
Yeah, this is when things were going well for Tether. Just kidding. It's gonna be fine. XRP 36 cents, and now it's sitting right at around. It's holding on to a 50-cent spot. Cardano has taken a big step back, but I mean, this isn't too
Dude,
big of a
this
step
seems
back.
like an awesome spot to buy Cardano.
Yeah, and
It might go lower, but
Well,
25
what's
cents.
it at right now?
Like
What's
25
Cardano?
cents.
25.
Awesome.
Polygon was at $1.15, not just a few months ago. So, I mean, in relativity, it's half the price now as it was just a few months ago. You keep that in mind as you're looking into these different things. And, you know, this was really nice to look at, just to think about, you know, the time frame. I took a little bit of profits during this crab market here on the altcoins, and it feels really good in retrospect, looking back at these things. Where they are now, I have a much better entry point now, and I was able to experience just slight gains, but I took them because I felt like there's more pain. And yeah, I mean, there's a Chainlink's pretty much the same, Uniswap right around there. So, but for the majority of these, they're much lower price points, and that's why I'm sitting here floating around coin market cap, thinking about what's going to be the next big narrative here. And yeah, I mean, it's a hard choice to make. I know that OP, I hold a small bag of OP, and it's not doing great, right? Like, it's the one alt that I kept behind, and it got cut in half in its value. So not the best thing, but you know, it's a longer term play, and I try to just put that in the basket of my mind. I'm going to wait till the bull run kind of actually commences. We can get past the halving. And I see a lot of people asking for Polkadot. Wob Bilson, nice name. Let's see where
Bob
Polkadot.
Bilson.
What did Polkadot do here? That's one that has quite
I
a
think
bit.
Polkadot's dead.
You think so? Look at this graph. It looks kind of similar to Algorand.
That's what I mean. Either one of them could be dead.
Mm.
I don't say you
reward.
can't make money on it. I'm just saying it might be dead.
Yeah, because it's
It
all
is based
time.
off of Rust, which that is a pro.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if that's enough of a pro.
And it's where's his market
They
cap?
lost me months ago with all their parachain auctions.
Yeah.
Kusama side sister chain. Let's do everything over there, and then let's port it over to Polkadot. I haven't heard anything since. So,
well, I mean, it's max supply is not out there. It's infinite.
And didn't something happen where like they were funding FUD against other projects that they're competing with?
I do believe that's part of it, but mainly I feel uncomfortable from some of the sketchy stuff with Gavin Wood that I'm not going to get into here. Maybe on the basement someday, but it was kind of like a philosophical choice to stay away from this one. In the last bull market, I stayed away from. I was more heavy on Chainlink actually, and I still hold Chainlink. So I'm kind of interested to see if this thing's going to come back. The Swift partnership was good for it. But yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of things that you wonder if you hold on to these things and they're just not going to be there or not at the top of the list when it really comes down to the next bull run. Chainlink is one of them that I consider it a high risk, high reward type scenario. Like, I know there's a lot of community behind it, and it's got some staying power built into its history. It started November, October. This graph at least starts October 2017. So that's going to be an interesting one to watch. But
Here's my opinion on Chainlink.
what's that?
And let me know if you guys feel the same way. When we have like way more projects that aren't already in the ecosystem wanting to join, they need to pay Chainlink in order to get their services. So I feel like once we have like a new surge of new like projects, companies blockchains that need to use the Oracle service from Chainlink. That's how I could see it going up. Otherwise, I don't really. I mean, it's a utility for the whole entire blockchain, pretty much. So it's needed. Pumpamentals, tokenomics. I mean, tokenomics are good. Pumpamentals. I feel like, I don't know. I don't think it'll do like an amazing 20-50x. Maybe can get back to new like all-time high, but I feel like that'll come once retail comes.
No, absolutely.
Which is pretty much with every coin.
Correct me if I'm wrong, too. Isn't Chainlink kind of a data aggregator, or is that essentially?
It gets the data from the blockchain and it like supplies it to exchanges so they can show you the price of the token in real time, and
that's pretty useful.
Just talking back and forth to the blockchain and to like your user interface.
Well, real time info is pretty darn important, obviously, as you can see with Tether and all that that's happened with them. So having that up to date information and data coins and storage coins are they're definitely going to be a narrative. I know we've seen meme coin season. We've seen the ordinal pump. But I definitely think there'll come a time when we see a big resurgence of interest from the market, from both retail and institutions. Where
Crypto Crank is right. It is Oracle.
It's Oracle. Yeah,
I said that.
Well, no, I asked if it's a data aggregator, but I mean, I kind of think of it as like the Eye of Sauron. But that's just me. I know. The
red whale eye.
Yeah, the red whale eye.
Well, that's why like the FUD happened a while ago, because obviously I'm big into Cardano and the Cardano ecosystem and things like that. But there's a project known as Charlie, which is Oracle for Cardano. And a lot of people were like, well, if Chainlink could just port over, why would you use that? I'm not really sure what the answer was after that. I still bought a bunch of Charlie and still own a lot of it. So
yeah.
Kush is my cologne. Me too. But do you guys know about Injective? I've never actually heard of it.
It's on the Cosmos ecosystem.
Yeah. Was I here though?
I don't think so.
You were here.
I just wasn't listening.
Well, if you weren't listening, we can readdress this, Taco.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I've seen it been mentioned a lot not only on here, but on crypto Twitter. It's got an all-time graph. It looks like the started graph in October 2020. Let's see here. This actually looks pretty dang strong.
Thick.
Yeah,
that looks thick.
Look at the year chart. It's up 274%.
Dang. Yeah, this one looks like a serious potential. What's its market cap at? That always matters. So total supply is at 100 mil. Max supply is at 100 mil. Let's see here.
80% of the tokens are already out.
Yeah.
What's the market cap?
Fully diluted market cap. How is that correct? There's no way this is correct.
It's ranked 75 on.
See, when you start seeing, like, I like to call these like meme coin numbers, and I don't mean that in a negative way whatsoever. But like when you have a market cap that's kind of that low, and the supply is 5x that of Bitcoin, kind of worth looking at.
Yeah.
Not saying necessarily buy, but like that's probably worth doing some research upon.
Yeah.
Like that is not a large supply, and especially when we were talking about emission rate and things like that the other day, it's like that emission rate isn't going to change that much. We're at 8/10 of the total supply.
Yeah, we're definitely
20% emission after that.
That is because most of the tokens are already out.
Okay.
You have a total that's capped at 100 mil. This is what I'm curious on. This can't be correct.
Bailey Miller, it should be called diffusion, not osmosis.
This is saying 562 million, so I don't think that's correct.
Yeah, half Billy.
Yeah, yeah, that might be the case, huh? I don't know. It just seems like such a small play, but I mean, this one might be a mover. I've definitely been trying to pay.
But is it a shaker?
Is it a shaker? Well, that's what's going to be decided here in the next few years, isn't it? I mean, I think that, from what we heard from Jerome Powell, he's talking about staying hawkish and, constraining the markets. I really think that there's going to come a breaking point in not only American economics, but Chinese economics. They're very intertwined, should I say. And you see in the recent hearings about Prometheus, there's a lot of intertwined CCP interest in American firms and government. So, there is another story that came out today about Hong Kong urging HSBC, a massive bank, and Standard Chartered, another huge bank, to support crypto exchanges. Hong Kong has recently aligned itself with regions that have opted for a regulatory approach to embrace crypto industry, In addition, the government stance entities operating from within the region have also been encouraged to conform to the same notion. HKMA emphasized in a letter dated April 27th that conducting due diligence on prospective customers should not impose excessive burdens. And for those who don't know, Hong Kong gets special financial privileges outside of basic blocking of cryptocurrency by China in general. It's their economic hub, so they are kind of, it's seeming to allow this to happen at their economic center. Hong Kong's latest push comes during a time of extreme scrutiny on the crypto industry in the U.S., with the SEC going after two major exchanges, we know, Binance and Coinbase. So basically, they're making this move as we're coming after Coinbase and Binance. And the Coinbase thing just keeps getting worse. Like we saw this from the SEC asking for more time to respond to the Coinbase call for crypto clarity.
Jesus.
Yeah. We remember about a week ago, they're like, hey, you have to give us an answer and give us a clear, reason for this inquiry to begin with. And they're like, yeah, how about not? So very fantastic.
In a can down the road for 3 months.
I know. It's crazy. In a June 13th letter submitted to U.S. Court Appeals for the Third Circuit, the SEC says it needed an additional 120 days to reply to a Coinbase request that it adopt new rules and provide further clarity on the laws governing crypto. The SEC said it had not decided what action to take on the petition in whole or in part. So neither. So they haven't thought about a part of it or the whole enchilada. And claimed Coinbase request for a writ of mandamus has no merit. So they don't dare deserve to know what they're being came after for. That, how dare you? In a response to the letter, Coinbase Chief Legal Officer Paul
This is becoming
Grewal,
like habeas crypto.
This is just, it's so insane. Informed his 40,000 Twitter followers that the SEC has repeated the fallacy that it was yet to decide on any new regulation. He added the letter ignored clear statements from the SEC Chair Gensler that the SEC had no intent to issue new rules. Well, that's just great. They have no intent of issuing new rules. They just want to overload our courts with lawsuits against various crypto exchanges and crypto involved companies so as to muddy up the water. And they don't want any clarity involved with that.
Seems pretty simple and straightforward to me. They're not going to get any money just saying, hey, here's the rules, follow them.
Yeah.
They're going to get money by saying, well, you really don't have rules, but you're breaking them.
Right. And then a settlement.
All right, let's write those rules that they're breaking now.
Speaking of breaking, Bailey, that was me that made that comment. And it's just a joke because osmosis is only the diffusion of water across a semi-permeable membrane. So I'm just making the joke that it should be called diffusion because nobody uses the term osmosis correctly.
It's okay.
Probably one of my biggest fucking pet peeves. Like, I'm sorry, there's a specific term.
Dare you?
No, not how dare them. In general.
Kenneth GB in OKC, yes, I'm still holding DAG. Plan to still
Dadgummit.
I'm still going to plan on accumulating more DAG. I think it's part of that whole data narrative that is going to be coming in as the bandwidth for AI data and crypto blockchain data to expand. Those data-based cryptocurrency projects are going to do pretty well, in my opinion. That's just me saying that. I think ICP is in that same bucket. I think Filecoin is another really common one. Is that the one, BJ, that everyone's talking about for data storage or whatever? I think Filecoin's been on there.
I can't comment. I think so, but I don't know.
I think it is. But, back to this SEC thing. This basically feels like the ATF and their overstep to me. But the SEC insisted to conflate the evidence of decision those statements provide with an argument that the statements are they themselves a decision, Grewal said. So this guy's been getting pretty feisty. He's the Coinbase legal officer, and he seems to be taking the gloves off, and he's ready to go after it because, it's obviously a big positive for a crypto exchange to have direct and controlling access to American money.
Chemistry bro, you're wrong.
What's that?
Nothing.
Chemistry bro's coming at you over it.
It's fine.
Man.
Chemistry bro is wrong.
Well, yeah, I mean, this just sucks. It really things are moving offshore. But speaking of moving offshore, I wanted to talk about this a little bit. Japanese designers created a huge floating city to save humanity from climate change. Japanese designers are preparing for rising sea levels by sitting on top of them in a huge floating city. Developers NARC see this idea of an ocean-based version of Elon Musk's SpaceX, a Dogen city, would provide a self-sufficient habitat for 40,000 residents. They might move it out of China's reach on their intercontinentals too. But here is an image of what they are planning to build or designing to live on. This reminded me of Waterworld. Like, this could be like the epicenter of Waterworld, and then Kevin Costner like is able to find a way in. Like,
Where's the Mr. Coffee? That's the real question.
Where's the Mr. Coffee?
Yeah, where he makes his pee taste good.
Oh,
Oh wait, trick question. Pee tastes good. This mic is hot, isn't it?
oh, it is hot. It is hot. This is just a super crazy idea, though. The designers are proposing to build a range of structures, including a sports stadium. And the properties would be able to move by sailing them to another location within the complex. So just kind of imagining a life like that was just cool. I wanted to just bring that up as a side note because it's a giant waste of money, in my opinion. It'll probably be swallowed by Mother Earth.
Marks look floating prison.
Basically, that's, just watch Waterworld. See how life on a boat ends up being in a large population.
Wasn't that the first movie to use rotoscoping, by the way?
But yeah, I think it was. Waterworld was a gem. An absolute gem. I adore that movie quite a bit.
You guys hear about that city that they're trying to build in a straight line?
Yeah,
Yes.
we talked about it yesterday. The line.
The
Yes.
line in Venezuela?
No.
No,
Wait,
no, it's
where,
in
where,
Saudi
where?
Arabia or
Try a
something.
different
Oh, yeah,
hemisphere.
sure.
So are they like
Oh, wait.
actually really building it?
They're in design phase and they're clearing out
Ooh.
the
If
path
you
for it.
Google
Like
it-
they're excavating for
They
it.
have
You
a whole-
want to
they
talk
have a
about some
website.
weird Middle Eastern conspiracies?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So Disney's Get Woke and Go Broke is really biting them in the ass.
Mhm.
And unless they want all the theme parks to close, they need to make a bunch of money really fast.
I ain't taking my family there ever. Over my cold dead
Speculation-
body.
Oh, I love Disney, but whatever.
I did too when I was a kid.
But speculation is that they need to dump Star Wars.
What?
Other speculation was they were going to sell it to George Lucas. Apparently, there's an offer on the table for $8 billion from some sheik who is obsessed with Star Wars.
Oh, God.
To literally, so basically, like an Arab state would own the intellectual property rights that is Star Wars, which would be interesting. Nothing could be ruined more than what Disney did. Long live Thrawn, and
Yeah.
they didn't do it. Anyway,
Yeah.
we were just talking about the Middle East, and it's funny that all these things that they're trying to grab.
Well, we saw
They're
the
trying to
golfing
become
thing yesterday.
Well, they're trying to become a gaming hub. They're trying to become a crypto hub, taking over Disney Star Wars hubs, like storytelling. Like, there's a lot that they're trying to do, especially when we were talking about the amount of money that they had compared to like even ExxonMobil, where it's like ExxonMobil, like literally all their money is like them picking belly button lint out of themselves and
Yeah.
just being like, oh yeah, that's nothing to
They're
us.
turning into a powerhouse, man. Like some of those countries, they're definitely
I don't
turning
think
into
they're turning in. They're
They
letting
are.
people know
Yeah.
that they're a powerhouse.
They've been
finally.
kind of low key about it, but it seems to be popping their head out of the sand, so to speak. And the conversation that China is going to be just the number one and it's going to take over everything, I really don't think is going to be it. I'm looking at India, but I'm also looking at Central Africa for its population over the next by 2050. But this came out by Markets and Mayhem, and I thought this is a really, really interesting data point to pay attention to when we hear this talk that the dollar's dead, the dollar's done. What you got? We got chemistry bro in there.
No, this is Steve-O. I don't know what chemistry bro is saying. Biologists would say it's only water.
Oh, he's still on that.
It's a
Osmosis.
phenomenon with other polar solvents.
Your pea water
Less-
comment
Oh my God.
is
Hey,
taking over the
I
internet.
had a comment though.
You can
on
literally-
Danny. These companies will never learn. Target, Budweiser, Disney. I think it's way bigger than that. It's this whole ESG initiative that the powers that be of the whole entire world are trying to force on all of the people in the world, especially in America, where these companies are getting kickbacks, carbon credit kickbacks, and what they're being told to do is buy the ESG and the WEF.
Because you spend money to make it disappear.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
On a side note, no, I'm talking chemistry, bro. It's basically like a rhombus and a square, diffusion versus osmosis.
Oh my God, you chemistry people.
Osmosis can be diffusion. Diffusion is not osmosis.
Bill Nye, I do like the graph for the AI play. I think the graph's going to be a pretty low-hanging fruit for AI.
It's fun.
Yeah, I know. It's an ongoing. Crypto Crank, what's the best ideal portfolio at 250K? If I had 250K, I'd be positioned the same way as I am now. I am 60% Bitcoin, 20% Ethereum, and then, I have probably 10% in XRP, and within the last 10, it's well spread out amongst small high risk altcoin plays, but I'm going to be increasing that. Cardano?
God, I want to buy.
Right now, you'd buy Cardano?
No, I'm asking you. You don't, because mine are Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Cardano.
Yeah. I'm waiting to get back into Cardano. I got out at like 40 cents and I'm loving the fact that it's retracing. Because
it's a bear market. That's why when people are it's going down, it's like it's a bear market.
I know, that's you have to understand.
That's fine.
And volatility is a price you pay for performance. That's basically why I'm in crypto. I'm not here for the safety of it. It's a much more aggressive savings account. But basically, that's where I'd be with 250K, and then I'd be deploying heavier.
Real question
later. What?
Right now, do I take a down payment and put on a house, or just buy a Bitcoin? I know. That was not as easy as you thought.
That's a toughie.
I know.
What would you do in the chat? A house right now you can always refinance. You can always refinance your interest rate. And I do think that Jerome Powell is a big old pussycat when it comes to this interest rate squeeze. Yep. I don't think he's got a lot of bite to his bark, essentially, because he will crush the banking industry if he keeps these rates elevated for any extended period of time. So they can act all scary, but the moment you see political headlines come out and they want to make you feel good and make you go to the polls and vote your next 4 years away, they're going to arbitrage the monetary system back into quantitative easing, which thus puts risk assets back on the menu. God dang, that's a tough question.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, it's
where are you buying in a city or are you buying rural?
I'm very preliminary right now. But the other question is, I think that when the rates go down, inventory will not be as available. So I almost feel
that's
like
what my worry is.
But that's then what my worry is. Certain people are saying it's like buy the house now, then sell it for BTC later. I don't know.
Oh, that's a tough question.
I know I just derailed it with that, but I feel like that's like a really relevant question.
This is a good relevant
always
question.
Talking about like buying stuff in 2025, but it's just like,
here's what I would do, BJ.
Yeah, okay.
I would not buy a house in the city.
We're gonna zoom in. Boom.
I would not buy a house in the city.
That's because you're a country boy.
Well, but I also feel like the values are going to expand heavier and better for rural or, kind of more spread out locations. I think that
depends how rural you're talking.
That's true. But, it can be sparsely populated.
Buying power within the perimeter and buying power outside the perimeter are actually the same.
What about here, BJ? Like around here?
Kennesaw?
I don't want to be in Kennesaw.
Yeah.
No. Closer to Atlanta.
I would probably, I'm a big proponent of having the house first. And using the Bitcoin to pay off the house afterwards, and in keeping in retrospect where we are right now, we have a year or a year and a half until we really see the engines turn back on positive price action. Like I feel like is going to happen if the 4-year cycle plays out again, which I do believe is going to happen. So,
and a pseudo super cycle. Well, I don't want to overuse the super cycle word, but we are seeing a lot more sovereign states this time.
We are.
And the whole ETF thing.
We are.
Have we talked about that yet? Are we going to?
The BlackRock applying for the ETF?
Yeah, I mean, I know applying is just like me being like, oh, I can beat up Taco.
But they're a bigger thing.
Oh, you just said it, but it's like.
It was Grayscale that tried last, and they're not as big of a deal as BlackRock is.
But it's also the timing and everything.
Welcome to OG status, Marco Lolite.
Yeah. God, I'm gonna say buy a house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say buy a house and then use the year and a half to reaccumulate or do whatever you have to in the crypto market. But I think that buying a house, it was one of the most financially impressive things that I've ever done for myself is buy a house in a to-be expensive demographic and then sell that house and move to a much less expensive demographic, smaller house with much more land and $250,000 in growth from that. So you can experience those things in real estate. It can happen. And it only took like 2.5 years to do so. So, I mean, you absolutely can make money in real estate if you buy the right location and, you see a positive growth in development and good stores coming in or, a big industry that's kind of budding around it. And you're thinking like North Atlanta, right? Just in general?
Let me just completely dox myself. But yeah, no, I'm thinking...
North Atlanta is a general term.
I'm thinking of places.
Yeah. I think you should come hang out with me. We'll go to Alabama together. What do you think?
No.
Come on now.
I'm not interested in my cousins.
You want some Talladega Nights?
Okay, that sounds fun.
But I mean... Yeah, so I would buy a house. But back to the subject I was talking about. So everyone thinks China's so cool.
China.
One highly likely way to increase social unrest, a surge in youth unemployment rates. Let's see how this plays out for China, where youth unemployment just hit a record. Now, this is coming in right at about 22% for unemployment rate for 16 to 24-year-olds. And that is a huge chunk of the population that's not partaking in the economic workforce.
I'll scroll down a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that up a little bit?
National Bureau of Statistics.
That's that much of a chunk. So scroll. God damn it.
Ah.
We want the chart visible.
Okay.
This isn't hard to figure out.
Fine.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
be nice.
yeah. There you go.
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm being a dick.
Yeah.
So it just went from like 20% to like 20 point.
No, I mean, look at it.
5%.
2019, it was only at like 8%. I mean, this has been a
back
definite
then.
increase, and the difference is the tyranny increased. And what was been talked about I brought it up on this channel, is the concept of buy lawn.
Yeah.
A revolution through non-participation, because their means of, forcing their government to back off is not available for Chinese people. So buy lawn, is a way to actually exercise that sort of revolt by just non-participation. And this is what I see is the linchpin for why China's on top of the real estate, Ponzi that they're going on. The tyrannical nature of the country.
But when they just straight up stop providing anything for any of these people and they just become homeless and then just die, how I don't see like this.
That's that's where the civil unrest comes in.
Yeah, because
right?
it's just like this becomes complacency because you're like, oh, I'm not going to be part of the system. This is my revolt, but you're doing nothing to fix the system by just pulling out and then hoping that the system is like, oh, I'm sorry.
No, I don't think the intention
is
petty to you. I don't think that the intention is to stop participation and then ask for help. I think that
not ask for help, but like be like, oh, you need us. It's like they do and they don't.
Yeah,
because the amount of money, it's just like you can start being like, cool, we're basically going to be like a biological system here. It's like we only have so many resources, so we just cut you out. Like, and then it's just like society moves on without you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not saying it's awful.
Well, but you need a younger generation partaking to keep the thing going. You know what I mean? You need service people. You need people that are coming up in the industry that are working hard. But
it's like if they just like pieced out to like the woods, like there's a lot of wooded area in China, and then literally just started like building their own like communes and stuff like that.
That'd be cool to see.
That's a lot cooler because it's like, cool, we're like not part of your system anymore, but like we're going to build our own system.
Hopefully they don't set up next to the Uyghurs, because that didn't turn out too well.
No, that did not.
That did not turn out well.
No, that did not.
Yeah. So I think those things are kind of why China's going to fall a little bit behind, and this is just more proof in the pudding. And really, let's see here. I wanted to ask, what is this? Oh, no, this is what I was looking for. I wanted to ask, I was looking for it, but I think it might have gotten deleted. But I mean, really, do you think that this BRICS narrative that we see, I mean, finally everyone's talking about BRICS and all these 20 countries applying to become part of BRICS and, become this opposing world economy while we have America kind of isolating, and we see France start up conversations with BRICS. I mean, what a rug pull, but I'd expect nothing much more from Macron. Do you think that we're going to have the same set of allies in the next 10 years? Will we see the American kind of regime isolated? Like, do you think that's actually a potential?
I mean, what allies do we truly have? Like, I know you could claim it's NATO and claim it's things like that, but it's just like, it's almost like what Ukraine has done the whole time, where it's just like they claim to be part of this, they claim to be part of that, and they're the ultimate fair weather fan. So it's just like, once the US dollar starts going down and we don't have potentially buying power there, we're not producing certain things, or we don't have certain technologies here, it's like, why would somebody want to stay on our team?
Right. It gets hard to quantify why. I mean, I know that they hold a lot of treasury debt, China does. They have been offloading it, but you can't offload everything at once. That's why if they keep going at the high rate that they are, probably 10 years. You know?
If it wasn't for our university system, like I know a lot of people say education here is a joke, but like higher education, like doctorates and things like that, it's like we do educate some of the smartest people in the world here, but then they peace out.
Yeah. Well, some of them stay around to insurrect
like look at
governments.
when I was like big into like the biotech world, like everybody studied here at like MIT and all the other schools, and then went to like because the United States put so many sanctions on a lot of like the stem cell research and everything else, that they would go off to like Singapore and everywhere else. But a lot of the education isn't there. I'm not saying it's not there at all, but it's just like once we stop doing a lot of the big education on the advancements of technologies here, be it and kind of just energy and then medical in general, it's like, why would you care about the
and
US
blockchain?
anymore?
Like that's our piece of the puzzle here is like trying to make sure blockchain advancements can stay here in America. You know, that's why we sit here screaming about regulators trying to arbitrage us out. What do you got?
I mean, look at the USA math team.
USA math team. Oh my God, I
team?
saw that picture.
Wait, what's going on?
Just Google it.
Okay, all right,
Google
hold on. Give me time.
Google it.
Hold on, give me time. Don't pull this up. I'm gonna see if I can.
Okay. DJ, what are your thoughts on XRP?
JavaScript coin.
Yes, JavaScript.
Shit.
I'm really worried that like it makes no sense to me. It literally is just glorified JavaScript, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. It's just more me pointing out that all the maxis out there that when you point that out are like, what? I know everything about it. And you're like, well, that's something you should know and have a question for. But like, why are they stifling it? Why are certain whale wallets buying it? So it's like, I'm so in the middle where I don't know if you're going to get totally rug pulled or if it's going to rip and be massive. I really don't know.
Yeah. I treat it like the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
You know, like it's in bed with all the central banks. You have a lot of overlap. Rosie Rios, who was the U.S. Treasury.
But the technology behind it is not good or strong or resilient.
Yeah. It's pretty
Whatever
basic.
that's
It's
worth.
been around for a while, though. I'm being devil's advocate.
Yeah.
But, you
I
know,
mean, JavaScript has been around since like 2016. So.
that's true. Well, here's the
I'm
USA
sorry.
math team.
Yeah.
XRP.
Look at this.
Oh,
the U.S. Olympiad
wow.
beats China for the first time in 20 years. And these illustrious gentlemen actually are going against China and winning for the USA. So to
God, I'm
BJ's
gonna
point,
sound really dick here. They look extremely American though.
I mean, yeah.
Like
Yeah. That's a nice suit he's got
Yeah.
going on. Yeah, you know, I mean, that's what happens. They come over here, they enjoy the freedom of America, but I mean, that is going away slowly.
I mean,
so.
those look like kids that are not. I'd maybe say second or third generation American. I'm not saying
Yeah.
I'm correct,
I feel
but
like
you can tell when
second-
like certain nationalities have been here for a while, to where you're like you seem pretty American at this
Mhm.
point. Like
Absolutely, man. It's a melting pot. It's got all kinds of, you know, I mean, in high school, people couldn't decide what I was. Still can't. I'm a mutt of most.
Same. Nobody's
you?
ever known. I don't know what I am, to be honest.
Okay.
I know German and Irish.
Oh,
but
don't do 23andMe. I think they just got bought by,
By
like, the
BlackRock.
government.
I've
Oh,
told
by
are
you
you
guys not to
serious?
do this.
23andMe got bought by BlackRock.
Giving
if
a
anybody said
private
anything
company
to them,
access to your genome and giving them viable cells is the dumbest shit I have ever heard. I'm
now
sorry.
BlackRock owns all of the information that they've had collected over the last 20
So
plus
good.
years.
Larry
So
Fink
bad.
is our
I
actual
want to know
president.
though.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the somatic cell nuclear transferase case to come up.
Yeah.
When somebody is convicted for
Hey.
murder for leaving DNA evidence, and you're like, hey, how do you know that came from me? Like, literally came from my body.
Yeah.
Because I was at that site. Because
Currently-
literally,
Crypto.
wait, I have an epithelial cell from
Welcome
taco, and then I can turn it into induced pluripotent stem cell, and then turn it into hematopoietic cell, then spray blood everywhere, and then
Clone
get
you.
that.
Ooh, welcome to OG status.
Welcome. Wait, just now?
Yeah, I know. He's kind of.
Just now.
But I'm glad to have him. You know, Cryptonautic is one of the favorite names to say. Well, for the time being, I know there's a lot of fear in the markets, but
It seems like a good time to buy.
it feels like a good time to buy. Like I'm gonna be loading up. I'm probably gonna start with Bitcoin and sit and watch how these altcoins think. But God, you're talking me into Cardano again. The more and more we talking
Yeah,
about it.
buy it, bro.
It's a good
Literally,
buy.
the next bull run will be that of Cardano. You're going to see everything that happens on ETH. Like, I honestly think what I've
It's
been
gonna be
talking
a
about forever
competitor.
is going to play out. Like, so I said Ethereum A had outages nobody knows about, like how it worked. It's not decentralized.
Yeah.
It has non-deterministic gas fees. It's easy to manipulate. But now that you have China basically doing securities on the chain, and we're talking about crypto being the new battleground, well, your perfect stage is now Ethereum because you come in, you have another countries such as China gets in there, Russia and or the United States or somebody else then fucking destroys Ethereum to attack the other person. And you're like, because you can't stop Cardano. I genuinely don't think you can. You're definitely not stopping Bitcoin. So how else do you FUD the living crap out of the crypto space than destroy the chain that everyone's like, but everything's built on this.
That isn't.
I don't know why I
it's
want
a
Mickey
hell of a
Mouse voice
conspiracy
here.
theory. I like
it's a
conspiracy
hypothesis.
theories.
We need to stop using
Oh,
theory.
all right, fair. It's a coincidental
Postulate or
analysis.
a hypothesis.
Okay, that's fair.
Sorry,
And
some of
you're
these
right.
semantic things just
I know. I get it. It basically the crypto.
so much.
Oh, what was
nothing.
that?
My only, I guess,
Also, I love you, Crypto Steve.
pushback about your hypothesis is
What?
if they are putting a token security on the blockchain, they're still going to have to provide liquidity. They can't just like rug Ethereum.
Well, you break the chain
How?
just by shutting. Like, so the last outages that happened. Does anybody know how that happened?
I sent you the link, and we were talking about it when it happened, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, it's still everyone's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it was like, wasn't it like 2 hours of blackout time or
I
something?
mean,
like
that's
that?
enough blackout time for you to have no clue why it happened.
Yeah.
Now things could have changed.
The gas fees hurt when you're trying to get in or out of meme
Also,
coins.
still, this whole thing, devs do not like Cardano, is definitely getting old. So you have Aiken. God, what was the new one that came out? Oh my God, I'm blanking. But you can program in Python and other languages, and then it converts
Solidity?
it over. Not Solidity. Oh my God, why am I blanking on what it was? Not Milkomata. Oh my God.
Crazy words.
I'll eventually remember the
Swap.
name, but like there are ways to get around it. And also, I love these open debates.
Well,
Like, if I'm coming off as harsh, I'm not actually. I just like having heated.
maybe
debates.
I'll have to
Recently.
refill my Cardano bags. That's the graph I was watching the
Yeah.
closest when everything was
Oh my God,
crashing.
what is the name of the translator?
If you get Cardano,
Translator.
make sure to get a wallet and then delegate your ADAs. You get rewards.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll give it to you, BJ.
but yeah, delegate to not. So like literally, if you look at Binance, I don't know if it's people doing it within Binance or Binance staking their own ADA, but there's several 100 million ADA that are owned by Binance pools. Like, just don't do that.
Long
just
hair
Steve was
guy's
saying we should
name?
bring up mainstream dApps on Cardano. We should.
Yeah.
We should bring that up
So
on the
please,
next
please,
show.
Please name mainstream dApps on Cardano, Muesli
should
Swap,
deep dive.
Sundays Swap,
Sunday swap. was
Milkomata, all the JPEG store stuff, the Tap Tool stuff, all the World Mobile Token stuff. I mean, we can go on for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us, everyone. We gotta basically go run and create a
do
bunch
more
more
things?
content, more things. We have ATB coming on at 5.
5?
Yeah, gotta
Wait,
get
hold on
ready
real
for
quick.
it. What's that?
Oh, I thought you were gonna fart.
Podge 2, Podge 4. It's a clone. Everything on ETH was cloned on Polygon.
Yeah, that makes no.
Good luck
Or on
getting the
Pulse chain.
liquidity to transfer.
Everything on
over.
ETH was cloned on Pulse Chain, is what you said.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, that's what
Pulse
you
chain,
meant, yeah.
not Polygon.
Yeah, Meld, Dega, what the AADA. Yeah.
Dude,
Anyway.
I hope those Hexicans make it out alive. I wish you Godspeed. On
Godspeed,
that
besties.
note, Fowler and I can't say that name. And guess
Try that.
Skid Marks, JP Trez, Crypto Stevo, RS, Mayak Fund, Paul Chevers, Kev83. Let's see here, J Day. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Of course, Manawak. Until next time, I'll bid you adieu.